I wondered if the call was viewed as an annoying interruption to daily life, or at the very least an inconvenience. When I asked one of my Islamic professors, he seemed surprised and said, "No, I like it. It is a pause, a space to breathe, reconnect, and align myself with God." A big part of our experience in Morocco were the 3 hours a day of incredibly difficult Arabic classes we took for 4 weeks.
Today in Arabic class, we're learning 3 new letters. Ha, ha, and ha. Let's do it together. Ha, ha, ha. Mackenzie.
Ha, ha, ha.
La.
Ha, ha, ha. Roberto Jair!
The Medina, or the city center, is a crowded, bustling place where people barter, socialize, and people watch. In all of the Moroccan cities that we visited, the Medina was both simultaneously interesting and can be summed up in the following skit.
No, my friend got 50. 200 each. Please. Okay, deal. 100 each.
No, I just said no.
Okay, deal. 50 each. Deal. You need husband.
Some of us lived about 20 minutes outside of Tétouan, Morocco, in a little town called Martil. In order to get to school, we had to take a taxi. This is the sum of our daily journey.
Mathilde,
Yeah.
Mathilde, yeah, you sit here. Who are you? Yeah, One moment. Okay, to Mathilde, no? Why, yes! No, I told him like 3 times. Oh, Mohammed! Hey, you see that Barcelona game? Oh, my, no, Ronaldo was the greatest. Ronaldo was...
My first evening in Morocco, my host mother Fatima invited Mandy, Angelina, Taylor, and me to the table for a small meal. We gathered around the table, and in the middle sat a tagine of fish and vegetables. My mother cut each one of us a slice of bread from this wheel-like loaf of bread that she had baked herself. When she handed me the bread, I wasn't sure what to do with it. That's when my host sister gave me my first lesson on Moroccan dining. She instructed me to tear off a piece of the bread to use as an eating utensil to dip into the communal tagine in the middle of the table. So then I tore off a piece of bread, and being left-handed, I dipped into the communal tagine. Then my host sister says, No, I must use my right hand. I may only use my left hand for if I want to reach for my glass to take a drink. Whole right hand to dip the bread says, you can only use 3 fingers, your thumb, pointer, and understand that I thought were just part of some strange table etiquette. However, I later learned in my Islam class that the way that Moroccans eat is highly symbolic of their religion. It's important to use your right hand for eating because that is the hand that is considered clean. Therefore, using your left hand is considered rude and impure. It's also important to use only 3 fingers because this represents self-control and moderation, which was something that Prophet Muhammad emphasized in the Quran. Using your whole hand, like I did in the beginning, makes you look greedy and overeager. That's especially an image you don't want to acquire when everyone is eating from the same bowl. I learned that the way that Muslims value community and the relationships within that community can be seen on smaller scales, like the way they eat from one bowl.
While we were in Morocco, we had a 1-week trip around Morocco to see different cities, and during this trip, we spent one night in the Sahara, a 2-hour camel ride from civilization. We stayed in a small village there for tourists with our Berber guides who were really enjoyable to spend time with. Kara wrote a poem about some of her experiences while in the desert, and the rest of us are happy to show you a little bit more of what happened that night.
I titled this The Way of the Desert. It seemed unholy somehow to breathe. Of lungs that necessitates life broke the patient hush. Quiet. The mother moon hung huge and pregnant among her children. She begins to teach you the way of the desert. Breathe in and out, dear child, letting the silence fill you, absorb you, consume you. In this moment,
One Saturday, a few of us we had finished our errands and were walking back to the school when the most inspiring thing happened. We were approached by a young native Moroccan woman who was speaking Spanish. She asked us if we spoke Spanish, and when we said yes or sí, she then asked if we also knew English. We assumed to be a poor immigrant from the sub-Sahara and a young boy who was probably 3 or 4 years old. The Moroccan woman explained to us but the immigrant woman only spoke English, so the two women did not share a common language. She wanted us to ask the mother if we would become a translator. After making suggestions to the mother and son in English and figuring out what they did and did not like, that they wanted bread, coffee, and milk in Spanish. We even offered them some of our bananas we had with us and gave them a few coins and then sent them on their way.
As we walked the opposite direction, we all started tearing up. The whole encounter with a woman doing a good deed, the fact that she didn't even share a common language with the lady and she wanted to take her to breakfast was more than any of us could handle. It was an eye-opening experience. She could have easily walked by the woman and her son and had no thoughts about what these people needed, like so many of us do, or walking, but she didn't do that. She cared enough to find someone who spoke English, which had to have been difficult being in Morocco. She could help this small family out. As cliche as it might sound, it gave me some hope for humanity. We saw many homeless people in both Spain and Morocco because of the economic crisis, but this incident really hit deep. It made me reevaluate my own efforts. How many times have I given people some pocket change and called it good enough? And how many times have I offered to take someone out for breakfast? When was the last time you offered to help a complete stranger?
Students are stuck together for 3.5 months. You're bound to say some pretty stupid things. Thankfully, one of the girls in our group wrote some of them down. Here are the best.
From Phil. The thing I like about you can say whatever you want.
From Carol, our leader. Sometimes yes means no and no means yes, and they all mean the same thing.
I want to hug that tree.
No, Mackenzie.
But Melinda does it.
What do you think makes all those windmills move? That's Carol. Our group.
Melinda, stay strong to the motherland.
Did we burn all the popcorn?
Very sad thing.
That was Michael, our leader. Hey, Carol, Muhammad just went off with a bunch of hoes.
We were on a farm. We would also like to share some statistics from our trip, a classic cross-cultural chapel tradition.
These are the countries we visited on free travel. Spain, Portugal, Italy, France, Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Belgium.
The total number of scarves purchased was 111.
Total scarves purchased by Taylor, 19.
Total number of photos taken was well over 32,000.
Photos taken by Taylor, over 9,000.
Inflammatory finger-pointing about who is to blame. Moments of convivencia exist, but are seldom covered by the news. We rarely hear stories of the peace efforts, interreligious dialogues, and cultural learning where people sincerely attempt to understand the other rather than simply submit to assumptions and fear.
Through learning Arabic and gaining a deeper understanding of Islam, our group made an attempt to initiate a new era of convivencia. We found experiences like Becca and Angelina's incredibly rewarding, as they demonstrated how ready the world is to bring history full circle and to usher in a new age through deeper cultural understanding.
We end our chapel today with a reenactment of our most powerful experience of convivencia. At the end of our time in Morocco, we traveled to Moulay Absalon, a poor village in the Rif Mountains.
Here we picked up trash, painted, and helped build a new mosque. What greater symbol of convivencia can there be than a group of Christians from the United States building a mosque in Muslim Morocco?
Our very own Phil Yoder wrote the following song about our time in the mountains and this powerful experience.
Hey guys, come on. Muhammad needs us to help him build this mosque. Come. Have you heard of Moulay Absalom way up in the mountain? A peaceful village, all are welcome. Come, you weary souls. If you're broken, if you're hurting, if you need some healing, find your time here, sit down, slow down. It's a place of refuge. Come to the mountains, find some rest. Come to the mountains, eat your fill. Goats and chickens, cows and horses, animals big and small, running free like they're meant to be. Can you speak their tongue? If you could, you know you might just find. There's enough here, enough for all. No one here goes hungry. Come to the mountains, eat your fill. And if you get a chance to hike up all the way to the peak, you can see the ocean and the sea from the top. And at the top there are two big boulders, folklore says it's true. You done good to your folks.
It's true.
Come to the mountains, find some rest. Come to the mountains, eat your fill. Come to the mountains, find some rest. Come to the mountains, eat your fill. Come to the mountains, find some mountains, eat your fill.
Carol and Michael, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for your courageous leadership. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for going out of your way when we were sick, feeling sad, and in the hospital. Thank you for going above and beyond. Thank you for being flexible. Thank you for taking care of us, even if it meant staying back while the rest of us went on ahead to discover something, someplace, something fun. Muchas gracias para su amor. Muchas gracias para ayudarnos. Gracias para su hospitalidad en Granada. Shukran, hamdulillah. Shukran, ustada. Shukran, nahnu drus fi jamila jadid. And finally, thanks for making us feel like family with Raphael and Maria, for being our teachers, guides, translators, friends, for being on call 24/7 and then some. You've encouraged us, challenged us, and for some of us, maybe even inspired us to chase our dreams. You're truly the most authentic, real, and most passionate professors I've had the chance to get to know. So we just want to say thank you. Muchas gracias. Shukran.
Will Carol and Michael and Maria come up? We have something to give you. We want you all to remember us forever. We have a signed photo of the whole group, which was a rare commodity to come by. So we have this to present to you and your family, as well as donating $200 to the community in the Rift Mountains where we did our service project in your name.
Okay, it's kind of hard to follow that
that up. Thank you everyone for coming out. We really, truly appreciate everyone's presence. Please stay and fellowship with us some more, but also, if you haven't already, watch our slideshow because it's pretty super awesome. So that's it.
Thank you.